Oh, sorry about that. I was dancing to a theme. I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there. Right. Apollo Justice. Phoenix Wright. We are so screwed. Speaking of Phoenix Wright, I wonder where he's been all this time. He's been absent the entire case for a first. Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant? Yes, Your Honor. We've had a good talk. Very well. So will he testify? Your Honor, the defendant will not testify. What?
Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around.
You know what, Klavier? I said this several times, and I'll say it again. I will gladly punch you. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor. A different angle? If Machi won't testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Klavier. Klavier? Here we go again.
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Klavir's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can...
Klavier was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries. What happened? She was assaulted, Your Honor. Assaulted? Someone wanted Klavier dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What? I've heard no sick report.
Ha! That's what you get, smug prosecutor. Prosecutor Gavin? You're working up a sweat there. Why would anyone be out to kill Klavier? Can you think of a reason?
Well...
Ha! He's working up a sweat there. Working up a sweat. Think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could have that been? You don't think. I do. It was the same person who shot Miss Latouche. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want to getting out.
So, am I to understand that this is what you are saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Klavir's testimony. A nugget we have yet to uncover.
Exactly. If Klavier was attacked, this has some serious implications. Very well, bring in the rape victim. I mean, oh God, what is wrong with me? There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Yeah, about the one, the one about the rape. I don't understand. Oh God, I don't condone raping people. It's not good. Don't do it. It lands you in jail. Just saying.
Klavier, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak.
You need not apologize. I know that Machi is innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes this. Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us that you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window, and that the voice belonged to Darian Chrisan, yes? That is correct.
At which point I proved she cannot be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed and was found to be quite soundproof.
Oh God. You had nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice? I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there.
There is, it seems, much you do not know.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court. Of course, Your Honor. Now, like I already said this before, from what I know, the way that this murder took place and how this was done, you guys are gonna be blown out of your mind. Just letting you know right now. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of the gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window. Now we want to pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony. I am sorry. I am not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth.
Then it is my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible.
You are really just trying Do I have to repeat myself? Lamir was attacked because of this testimony. What, Trucy? Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you were pretty cool. Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness. The irony in all this. Oh, goodness gracious. That would have been a pun if it had been brought up the point where, pretty much she was proven to be blind. So I'm going to press this. Darian Chrysant. I do not know his name at the time. But yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday.
How many times do I need to remind you that that's impossible? There is no way you could have heard him.
Because the window at the scene was closed. Is that why?
Of course.
Apollo, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere. She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try. I think we want to... Yeah, we want to choose what they were talking about. Lamir, do you have any chance to remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us. I have given it much reflection, but I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember. I only heard one phrase clearly. A whole phrase?
You remember something that was said?
Why didn't you say anything yesterday? Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said. This could be it, the clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say? Get to the chopper! I was waiting for a point in this LP to say that, and I'm glad I picked it. Oh, it was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche. The shooter, then Darian Chrysant. Well, what did he say? Get to the chopper! It's over. Press the switch now. Switch. And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Latouche? I thought it quite strange myself afterward. It's a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this? I mean, sure, I'd be delighted. It's, very vital. Maybe it could be, we could add to that testimony. Maybe, Apollo. Now, press the switch. If you remember correctly, we actually uncovered something a long time ago about pretty much remote trigger here. Press the switch. There's only one key that could unlock the mystery of those words.
Oh? Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch, save the light.
True, there wasn't a switch at the scene, but it just so happens I have a switch right here. That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it? The problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage. The stage? Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there.
On the stage?
Are you claiming that the voice Lamir heard was it someone commanding another to press this switch? It's a possibility. Now get ready. Your mind's about to be blown.
Oh, her forehead. I'd call that an impossibility.
Why?
It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Lamir's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviners were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We are known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard.
The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout.
So too have her forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard.
Sorry. But he wouldn't have needed to shout.
Excuse me?
You're excused. You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message to someone. And we present this. Got you, Prosecutor Gavin. Perhaps you're familiar with this.
Why, that's...
What is it? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking? This is a type of transmitter, a communications device. Communications device? From what I've heard at that night, everyone on the stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh god, I almost had a heart attack there.
Yes, actually, they're for talking between band members. We all had one on.
What up a sweat there? So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
True, but wait! Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, the range is quite limited.
Lamura said it was 30 feet, right? Look at this cross-section diagram of the court forum.
Ah.
Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far. But the direct distance is less than 30 feet.
That can't be!
So when Lamura heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
Ha! You're claiming this is the switch in question. Why did they have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hit it on the stage after the fact.
Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where he was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said, "Press the switch." Well, I guess we don't. An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there is a little point in debating it. Ugh. I was sure this was the way to go with this.
What is the switch, anyway? We don't even know that basic fact.
Wait a second. And it dawned on me. What I've been here has been realized. I do know what this switch is. And if you follow that train of logic, it's incredibly conclusive. It ends up in the proof that completely changes this case. Guys, if you remember correctly, there was a little hot topic on There Began This Case, and it was a hot concert. So, oh god. What's up, Apollo? Apollo? You know about this switch, right? We know what it is. Yeah. Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further information to share concerning the switch, Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Justice? I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is. Well, it seems our defense is set upon linking this switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of this link. What evidence do you have to explain what this switch is? And it's quite simple, actually. We've pretty much found this igniter, and this pretty much was a switch to the igniter. Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this?
Ach, that's that.
That what? Is this another one of those newfangled phones? This is an igniter. What a phone looks like? What phone looks like this? Igniter? You mean like a lighter? Yes, actually.
You aren't saying this switch is a remote.
I am. This is a remote trigger for igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you. Yo, Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom. Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I expected. Fire! If my whiskers had caught on fire, that'd be funny. Prosecutor Gavin, dang it, Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you?
You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you?
Ah! Exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught on fire in the middle of your performance. Yes, guys, that was an igniter in his wooden guitar. Wasn't that part of the stage show, though? Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such of a thing had been planned, and the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. That's right. He got it in Virginia from Lamura. He said the song was amazing before it burned, of course. Now it's kind of smokes.
The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Her forehead.
Yes.
Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice, heard by Lamiroir, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire.
I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Latus and the shooter were at this crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught on fire. Well, that does seem to make sense. Though something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it. Really? It seems pretty simple to me.
Her forehead. Don't destroy what little respect I have for you.
Little respect?
I was expecting something a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong.
What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin?
His simple story simply makes no sense. Think. That night my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set.
Ah, that's right, of course. The guitar caught on fire during Lamiroir's song.
Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated.
Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty.
See, his story makes no sense.
Are you sure about that? What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice? Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that is at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far. What premise is this specifically? I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act.
What's this? But Detective MSK heard shots and found the body. Probably this happened during the third act.
Gunshots rang out. And according to his testimony, Machi was in that dressing room at the time. Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice? Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us in his testimony, namely that the victim had already been shot. And we are at 17 minutes, folks, so I don't want to drag this on for any longer. See you guys next part.